Good morning. I just wanted to review tenths and hundredths with you guys today. So you are going to watch this video and then you'll do a little bit of reflection on it through Google Forms. But I reviewed this last week. Some of you weren't there, some of you were. But we talked about how if we have fractions that are different, that we must have a common denominator in order to add them. So this unit is just on tenths and hundredths because we're going to be leading into decimals. So we don't have to worry about like fifths and fourths and thirds and everything else. So if I have a problem where I have 3/10 and I'm adding that to 40 hundredths, then I need to make sure that I have that common denominator before I do anything. So in order to get that common denominator, we know that 10 times 10 will give us 100. And you have to remember that we do it to the numerator and the denominator. So we end up with 30 over 100 plus 40 over 100, which would be 70 over 100. Some of you are telling me the answer is 43 over 100. You're just adding them originally. We cannot do that because the tenths are bigger pieces. So they all have to be the same size, always. Okay, now we don't always have to multiply it by 10. There is the shortcut. If I had, maybe I have 7/10 plus 3/100, I could just add a 0 to my tenths, which is the same thing as multiplying by 10, and that will also give me the denominator of 100. So that would give us 73 over 100. So a couple things you have to remember: common denominator, and you have to do the same thing to the numerator and the denominator. So we're just going to look through a couple questions today because we are going to take a small quiz tomorrow, and I want to make sure that you are good. So part of the quiz will ask you for true and false questions. So it just says choose true or false for each question. It's probably easiest here right from the beginning. Just go through and add zeros onto your tenths so that they're all hundredths. If you do this right away, you won't forget. Boom. Now I just need to check the answers. Is 80 hundredths plus 2 hundredths 28 hundredths? Absolutely not. Is 9 hundredths plus 70 hundredths 79? Yes. So now it's made it much easier now that I've already added those zeros in there. I can just look at it and add them. So is this 67 hundredths? No, that would be 130 hundredths. So that is false. And 40 100ths plus 2 100ths would be 42 hundredths. So let's look at this next question. I'm actually going to read it and then I'll pause for a minute and let you guys think about it. And then I'll give you the answer. So it says Gina plants carrots in 38 hundredths of her garden and peppers in 2/10 of her garden. Shade the model to show the amount of her garden planted in peppers and carrots. Click on the parts of the model to shade it. That's what you'll do on the quiz. So go ahead and think about how many squares you would shade. I'll just give you a minute to think about that. Okay, so you should have thought that 38 hundredths plus 2/10, we need a common denominator, so we are going to change that 2/10 to 20 hundredths, which means we need to shade 58 pieces. Now, the hundredths are these little squares, so I need 58 of them. So one row would be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We have 58 hundredths. So if you need to pause this video, rewatch it. If you need a little bit more review, there's a practice that you're going to complete on Google Docs. You're going to do a little reflection on this video before moving on. And we're going to take a short little check-in tomorrow. Also on the check-in, just for review, is some multiplication. So I might as well review that with you too, since you've been out of school a while. There's two types: double digit. Remember, if you have two double digit numbers, we do the area model. Some of you have forgotten how to set up your area model. What you want to do is you want to break up each number. So 27 can be 20 and 7, and 15 would be 10 and 5. One of them goes on the top, one of them goes on the side. It doesn't matter which one, you don't want to mix them up. And then we fill in our area model. So 2 times 1 with 2 zeros, 7 times 10, 2 times 5 is 10 with 1 0, and 7 times 5 is 35, and then we add all of those up. So I get 405. The other type of multiplication is partial products. Some of you do the standard algorithm for this one, but that is where you have a multi-digit number. I'll just make it easy for simpler sakes and multiply by 5. And you're going to break it up into partial products. If you want to pause the video and try this one before hearing my answer, you can, but I am going to go ahead and do that. So 1,000 times 5, we're going to do 400 times 5, 20 times 5, and 3 times 5. So we get 5,000. This would be 2,115 for a total of 7,115. And that'll be our little check-in for tomorrow. So on Wednesday, you'll be taking that. Just a cool little fun fact for you. I fed Snappy Jr., our little plant from my classroom. I fed him a mealworm yesterday, and he snapped it right up. So it was pretty cool to watch. I tried to get it on video, but I couldn't. So next time I feed him, I will definitely try to get that on video for you. Have a great day. Do your work. Let me know if you need any help. Bye-bye.